What's up? Alright, check this out. I have something very important that I want to talk about in regards to guitar and music. Now, a lot of guitarists, a lot of musicians, and creators don't know what they're playing. It's kind of annoying because with the same time that you have with these 5, 10, 20 minutes a day that you are trying to play music, instead of noodling, I really ask you to pay attention to what's happening. What I'm referring to here is the idea of playing a scale and not paying attention to what's happening, right? So a lot of folks just grab the guitar and play one position and don't really know what notes they're playing. Not only they don't know the notes, if I stop them here, they can't sing it. Now, so what I'm saying, and it's a very easy fix, is the first step is we want to understand the scale. We want to be able to shift through keys. So for that, we need to understand what is happening in the scale, in the key. So if we take the scale, C major scale, for example, I want to switch between C major scale to maybe C minor. So what I can do is, first step, understanding the shape, the position of C major, and then compare it in the same area to that of C minor. Now, a lot of times when I see people improvise, they kind of jump all across the board to play major, minor, dominant scales, and it's not really linked. Once you start connecting things in the same area, you can actually make music. So that's why I think this video is very important, and this is functional in jazz, in pop, in rock, in anything, because you have chords that are changing in all these styles of music. So first step, when we're playing a scale, it's very important as a first step to understand the fingering and position. So I'm gonna choose one fingering as a starting point, and this is this fingering. 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, slide, 3, 4. I'll say it again, PDF is also on Patreon if you need more help there. You can follow me here, slowly I'll play it again. Now I want to compare that sound, these fingerings, with the minor tonality in a second, and we need to understand what is where and how we can approach it. So check this out. First thing here is this fingering, right? And you might know it, but it needs to be very consistent, right? My right hand is playing alternate picking. I'm trying to listen to the notes as I'm playing them, and I'm aware. So if you're stopping me here and you say, hey man, what is this note? I'll say, well, this is slightly off tune F. Fa, mi, re, do. So I'm trying to hear the sounds in my mind and be aware of what I'm playing. Now, we can all make mistakes, and that's fine, but we need to pay attention as much as we can. Alright. Please click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't before. It would mean a lot. Thank you. So, do. That's the sound of C major, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again in 1. Now, when I'm thinking about a minor scale, there are two options. First, I want to think about how it sounds and how it feels. The sound of C natural minor has a flat 3. The first point of reference, like instead of playing an E natural, I'm playing an E flat, and I'll play it here. So 1, 2, flat 3. Right? That's the sound, the difference between major and minor. You hear it, you can feel it. I don't want to say happy and sad, but there's something to it. Something more open and some pain. 1, 2, flat 3. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. So the numbers that I'm quoting here are just the relationship to the center. Do. I'm kind of hearing all the notes as related to the center, to C. If you're interested, I also offering a 5 days free ear training kind of challenge. If you want, there's a link here and in bio, just so you have more reference for these sounds. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. Let's hear how it's different comparing to the major scale. So we have 1, 2, 3, comparing 1, 2, flat 3. Right? So whenever I'm not sure, I'm not hearing something in a clear way, I'm trying to compare. And I'm not trying to do everything at the same time. I'm not trying to do everything, all the position. No, I'm just trying to understand one element. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, flat 3. Okay, that's kind of clear right now. Do, re, mi bemol. So far, so good. 1, 2, flat 3. Okay, 4 is the same, and 5 is the same. So the next difference between major is the 6, which we had in C major, the note A natural, and in C minor tonality, we have an A flat. Oof, there's some pain there. Very, very expressive. Okay, so 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6. Again, comparing 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the major tonality. Going back to the minor, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. That's the B flat. Versus. Okay, so I can hear that in a simple way. Now, this is again just kind of setting the basic building blocks for what we're talking about. So I'm trying to shift between the key C major and C minor. So again, first I'm going to tag this position of C major really well. Now when I'm going to shift to the key C minor, I have two options. First, what we're talking about right now, understanding how it sounds, feeling it, and seeing the relationship to the center, which this is how I see it and hear it. The second thing is, once I mapped 5 positions of C major, and some of you have done it, I can also understand that the key, the notes in the C minor scale are the same notes as the key and tonality of E flat. So if I mapped my fingerings across the board, I can almost play an E flat major here, but knowing that I'm starting from the note C, and therefore I'm playing a C minor. Now, I'm not a crazy big fan of that, but I can still use the visual element of that. I'm cool with that. But I need you to see it from C. That's why I'm really talking and explaining this sound. So this C, right? This is the center, and I'm playing 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. You can thank Hillel for this. 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, and another 4. And again, there are many options for fingerings. All I'm asking is to be consistent as a first step. From there we can change. Now, if I want to change and move between those two centers of C major and C minor, what I might want to be able to do, and again, this is a conversation about articulating changes and articulating chords, is I might want to switch and count. So I can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 bars of C minor, for example, and then go to C major. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice that I'm not going back to the bass. I'm just continuing my line. This is an exercise that I actually was working with a student of mine, that we were working on a song, Night and Day, that has the chords D half diminished G7, which is articulating a minor tonality. This is a 2-5 in C minor that should resolve to C minor, but the song Night and Day, as the title of the song might suggest, night, then day, going to major. So in order for us to feel comfortable articulating these centers as a simple exercise, and again, it can be any 2 chords or any 2 centers, I'm just kind of showing this here as an example, I want to be able to shift in time. So being able to say, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, now C major, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going back to C minor. So the next step, I'm gonna play the closest note that I can, and that is the note B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the closest note again that I have is the note A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I need from you to be able to improvise completely free on these two centers, again, the centers can change, but for our example, it's C major and C minor, is mapping, right? So we need to understand, okay, the difference between C major and C minor as a sound, as a color. The second step is understanding, oh, where are those notes changed? What is the fingering? Where is the position? So again, one step back, if you're not comfortable with that, is just playing C major a couple of times. Just this fingering a couple of times so my hand know where I am and I'm hearing this. And maybe I can spend 2 minutes or half an hour doing that. And then the same thing, C minor. And that might be new, I understand. But the same thing, I'm just gonna see the framework, and if I stop, I want to know this is a note E flat. Oh, so I really want to kind of hear it as much as I can. And if I'm not, I will slow down. Once these two colors start to be clear, I will shift in tempo. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now, I was tapping to and fro with my foot. You don't have to do that. That's a good idea if you want to get comfortable with that. I'm going to play it for a second with the jam track, so I'm just going to loop D half diminished, G7 to C major 7, so you hear how it sounds. And this is sort of like the basis for being able to articulate the centers. And when we're talking about improvisation, again, not just blues, not just rock, not just jazz, any style, we want to be able to switch centers, because a lot of times, a lot of songs shift. So being able to really comfortably shifting between C major to C minor as a starting point is really, really important. Check this out. Here we go. So 2 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. C major. C minor. C major. Back to C minor. 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. C major. C major. C minor. C major. Now, what this allows me as a starting point is to try and hear this motion of these chords and the resolution. And again, this is the first step to improvise. I'll do the same thing now with 8 notes. Here we go. So, and that moment of change, articulating the change, what is changing between this D half diminished G7 to the C major, that moment that I shifted from that into that C major 7 and I hit the B natural because I was in C minor before, so I expected B flat, but then this C major 7 happened and I had that sound. That is really beautiful moment, right? So when I try to improvise using the scale, I want to be able to hear chord notes and 8 notes as a starting point and shift between them. Let's do the same thing, just solo with chord notes and then just solo with 8 notes, very simply on the scale, on the position. Quarters. The scale. Now take some pauses. Very simple. Right, that's just playing quarters, 8 notes. This is the scale. Now, improvising a little bit. So what we're seeing here, right, is really sort of like the beginning, the early beginning of improvisation, where I'm making choices around my 8 notes and quarters around the scale. But the step here, and this is really interesting, is that the framework, seeing, hearing, and understanding the sound and how it feels around these chords, just the scale of C minor, is beautiful, because there's so many beautiful tensions and sounds that I'm articulating while playing C minor over D half diminished or G7. This flat 9 to the sharp 9 to the 6, right? So all these things, all these extensions and colors are to be found in the scale. I'm saying it because people sometimes skip this part, and this is a huge part in improvisation, in being comfortable. And it's not easy, it's not simple, it takes quite a bit of work. The good news is these keys, C major, C minor, E flat, all these kind of keys are just keys that you'll probably use a lot. It doesn't matter what style you're playing, because these are keys that people sing in a lot of times, and moving between major and minor is something that happens quite often. So getting comfortable with your C major scale, your C minor scale, your C minor pentatonic to C major, and seeing how these notes relate is a big deal in order to solo. And I would really start very simple and very kind of slow place. Just quarters and then trying to see it. Not jumping to the root, but seeing the change around the area you're in. The same thing with the 8 notes. So playing the 8 notes and trying to see the change. Not trying to change the world, but trying to make a little change in your playing while you're articulating and moving between the changes. It's a lot of change. Thank you so much. I hope this is helpful, and I'll see you very soon. Peace out.